Marie Elizabeth Lailer, née Fleming, was born July 13, 1954 in Boston and graduated from Wellesley High School in 1972. In 1976, she married Ken Lailer. In 1977, they moved to Auburn Street in Whitman. During the next 10 years, they had 2 sons, and Marie entered the medical profession, first as an ambulance dispatcher, and a year later she became an emergency medical technician and worked on the ambulances. During this time, she also was going to school part-time to earn a nursing degree. In 1987, she passed her state board exam and became a registered nurse. She then joined the emergency medical department at South Shore Hospital. She later moved on to the OR and on to IV therapy, all the while training EMTs part-time. In 2006, she moved to Children's Hospital in Boston, working in the radiology department. During this time, she was also working part-time doing home health care visits to patients with rare blood disorders, administering infusion therapies. Marie and Ken were also volunteers with Community Emergency Response Teams, or CERTs, a support team that provides assistance to EMTs during intense emergency situations. For vacations, Marie and Ken enjoyed traveling, usually on ocean cruise liners. It was during one of these cruises in 2022 in the Virgin Islands that Marie developed pneumonia and was infected by COVID-19, resulting in her death.
Okay, I'm Molly Schnabel, and I'm going to try to talk to you as loudly as I possibly can. I'm the chairman now of the Historic Commission, and we've invited you here, and we're happy that you're here with us to honor Marie Lailer, who was on the commission from 2010 to 2022 and was the chair of the commission from 2015 to 2022. So our first speaker is going to be our representative from the Selectmen, Sean Kane, and he's going to speak first.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to speak on behalf of the Select Board here today. The well-being of our community depends on people like Marie Lailer. She embodied the essential traits of an engaged citizen. She was well-informed, she stood for the common good, and she cared deeply for the town of Whitman. When she approached me about the creation of the Whitman Historical Museum, I could tell she wasn't going to take no for an answer. To be honest, I was a little afraid of her. She was full of passion, and she was determined, and it was for all the right reasons. I loved it. As a new member of the Select Board, she provided me with a clear example of what it means to do this work and to do it well. On behalf of the Whitman Select Board and the town of Whitman, we are forever grateful for Marie Lailer and her service to our community. Thank you.
At this time, could I ask the other members of the Historic Commission to come up and under the tent so that everybody knows who's on the commission? Because we do have a full commission right now, which is nice to see. And we're going to leave Ken to the last. So, as you have heard, Marie Lailer joined the Whitman Historic Commission in 2010, and by 2014 was the chair of the commission. During her tenure, as such, she was involved in many short-term as well as long-term and long-ranging projects that strengthened the historic knowledge of this town and the community. Some of these projects were the Flag Day essay contest at the middle school, through which a flag that was flown over the U.S. Capitol was given to the middle school to be displayed on the flagpole. The continued maintenance of the toll house sign, which she went after. As Sean said, she could be really powerful about this. She went after both Walgreens and Wendy's to make sure that that sign was maintained. The collaboration with the Whitman's Veterans Agent to replace the badly worn bronze and gold star signs named for citizens who died while serving our armed forces. The collaboration with Eagle Scout Joseph Venuti to restore the old Colony Roundhouse at the train station on South Avenue, which was quite a project. If you haven't gone down to the end of the train station, you should go down and take a look at it because it's quite a big thing. She also made sure that the reinstitution of the Boston Post cane donation to the oldest citizen of Whitman. The plaque and the names of the people who received the cane can be seen in the senior center, and the cane is returned to the town after the people are finished with it. It was under her guidance that the Whitman Historic Commission received its first Facebook page. The cleanup and restoration of the Sawmill Monument on Pond Street was brought about under her guidance. This is the monument marking the sawmill where they milled the oak planks for the hull of the U.S. Constitution. That's Old Ironsides to us. Nothing made Marie happier than the road trip to research more history for the town. She was researching the bells that were struck at the Hobart Foundry and was very excited to find one struck by Paul Revere in Salisbury, and it was New Hampshire, but it was originally said to be in Massachusetts. I checked with Mr. Watson here because he went with her. Our history of service in the Civil War is one of the most important historic points. It was under Marie Lailer's collaboration with the Office of the Town Clerk that the sketchbook telling the stories of the men in Company E who were the first militia to muster the Lincoln's request for the forming of the Union Army in the Civil War. This is one of the biggest historic points of our town, and it should be well known that it is. And if you haven't seen the cases in the town hall, you should see them because the GAR hall burned. But the records were kept and that book was redone, which it's in excellent shape. At the time of her death, Marie had photographed all the sketches and was transcribing them, and they have been transcribed. Most importantly, Marie wrote the first grant to hire professional historians to come to Whitman to survey and preserve the history of some of our most important historical sites. This is a national project, and the building in front of which we stand is now listed with the state and the nation due to her efforts. We are pleased that we have received, yes, and we're pleased we have received, this happens a lot, another grant using funds from the Community Preservation Act and the state to continue these surveys. The funding from the Community Preservation Act came from Marie's writing. We continued with it after she was done, and we got the matching grant for $40,000 from the state. You will be hearing more about this as the months to come as we move into the anniversary of our town. Last but not least, Marie had a dream of a Whitman Historical Museum that would join the collections of the Whitman Historic Society and the Whitman Historical Commission in one site. We hope to continue the collaboration with the Whitman Historic Society to bring the project to fruition. This town is so historically significant that it is a very worthwhile project for us. As this tree has just been dedicated, grows, we will look forward to the general knowledge of the history of the town to grow, and thank Marie for her continued service. Thank you. And now, where's Ken? There you are.
I'm hiding. I'm staying out of sight. Good afternoon, everyone. In case you don't know, my name's Ken Lailer. This dedication is for my wife, Marie. Hopefully everybody knows that. I probably shouldn't have to say that, but neither here nor there. Today we honor Marie Lailer with a dedication to Town Hall for a role as a past chairperson of the Historical Commission and the passion she had towards the history of Whitman. For anyone who did not know Marie, she loved history, research, and restoration. We are here today in Marie's memory with the Lailer family who presented a bench on her behalf, which is out in front of me here, and the Historical Commission who planted a tree to replace one felled by a storm in her memory as well, over here to my left. We hope out of respect for Marie and her dedication and commitment to the town of Whitman will prove valuable. She joined the Historical Commission in 2010, and remained active until her demise in 2022. If you read the plaque on the bench, it states that Marie had a vision to someday see a historical museum within the town. She was working diligently with John Campbell the chairman of the Historical Society and owner of Harding Print. They together were trying to find a permanent building in which to display all the artifacts from Whitman. Prior to John's passing in 2023, the current artifacts will move to the Armory. Maybe someday that vision will become a reality so the public may view and learn about Whitman. This dedication is a reminder of Marie's legacy, and may her hopes, dreams, and visions live on. Thank you to all for commitment to being in attendance for today. Molly, I will turn it back over to you.
That's it, we're done.
That's it, okay. I guess that concludes the ceremony. The only thing I have left to do is cut the ribbon, which is, it looks kind of funny, but hey, on the bench. Well, back at my house for whatever. Hey, I got some, no, not pizza. I mean, I had some food back at the house that I ordered a platter. I was planning, I didn't know what it was doing. I was going to have a cookout, hamburgers and hot dogs, but maybe we can still do that. I don't know. But in the meantime, this morning I picked up some platters. I said, well, this isn't going to be any good. We can't eat outside. But anyone that wishes to join me back at my house, you're more than welcome. Anyone that doesn't know the address, it's on Auburn Street, 187. Pitch, I just want to... Oh, all right. Well, I don't want to come off yet.